All right, this is the fourth quarter. Got our gas line in. Got our soap bubbles here. Now what we're gonna do, let me put my headlight on. Leak check the soap bubbles here. Leak check the joints. You don't have to go too crazy, but you definitely want to get a good amount of soap bubbles on these joints here. And how you would know if you had a leak, it will bubble up here. Nothing, which is a good thing. And what you can do, just wipe off the excess soap bubble solution and turn the gas line on. Remember, sideways is off. Like some people call this a gas cock or gas shut off. Just know your terminologies. But sideways on any gas cocks or gas shut offs, that means the gas line is closed. This doesn't mean you're shutting the gas off to the house. This strictly means that you still have gas going to other appliances, but you just won't have gas going to the water heater in this situation. So we're going to turn this on. Okay. And I got to retract something here. The only way to leak check, once again, is to keep that gas line on. So I just turned it off and then on just to show you guys the rotation of knowing when the gas cock is on or the gas cock is off. Okay, so right now we leak check, everything is good. Now we gotta light the pilot. Now most newer water heaters, you can't take this plate off. You actually have to use the spark igniter that's built into the gas valve to light the pilot. And here, as you can see, it's just pretty simple. Off is off, pilot is to light the pilot. Never used the VAC before. Low, VAC. VAC is vacation. I never actually had to use the vacation mode. But it's vacation mode, meaning this thing will rarely run. Like if you had customers that had a summer home or a winter home, and they told you that they were going to go away for an extended amount of time, but they don't want the pipes to freeze in the winter, or they still want circulation in the pipes, just not enough to run up their gas or electric bills. You can turn the gas valve to vacation mode, and this will still run a water heater, but this isn't a high enough setting to have hot water for a living person in the home. This will only heat up the water heater enough to avoid damage in the winter. Okay, so but if the customer is home, we recommend turning this to B. It's either off, pilot, vacation, low, hot, A, B, C, and the last is very hot. You never want to. Right now the pilot isn't on, so I'm just showing you guys the different functions here. But very hot means it's going to be scalding hot. I don't know a situation where a customer had to turn it this hot. Usually if you got to turn up that hot for you to have remotely hot water, then chances are your tank is too small. So, right, like I said, I recommend usually keeping it between A and B, and 99% of the time that satisfies customers. If they feel like, I'm keeping it to A and B, and, after my kids take 5 showers or 6 showers, it's still getting cold, then I crank it up to B and C. But always start in between A and B. Don't want to go too low, and for safety reasons, you don't want to go too high. So, but no matter what, if in the future, if you guys do have a newer, this is a A.O. Smith, by the way, A.O. Smith water heater. These new water heaters are pretty self-diagnosing. If the pilot light is on, you will see a white blink. I'm trying to turn my headlight away so you can see. You'll see a white blink there. But if the pilot light isn't on, or if after you install this, you leak check the joints. Now you want to light the pilot. What you have to do is turn this thing to pilot, and this thing will push in only on pilot. If you turn this to any other settings, it's not going to push in that much. And you'll know once you do it. And you can actually hear this. Okay, so now, while you have the power button pushed in, you see the spark button here? You press the spark button. Once again, this is tough to do. Hold the phone in your hand. I'm going to turn my headlight off so you can see. Hold on. Here we go. See that blue light that just came on? That is the pilot light. And I basically held this down and I pressed the spark button. But for like I said, proper pilot procedures, whenever you hold the pilot button down, and if you have to manually light this, in this case we have a newer water heater, so we didn't have to light this. If you have to light it with the spark igniter inside the gas valve, always, even if you see the pilot light on, keep this button down for 60 seconds. Reason being, that's how long it takes for the pilot to prove the flame to the gas valve. Now, this thing does have a thermocouple, but it's not really a thermocouple. It's still a pilot proven device, but it's not like how the old gas valves have the main burner tube, pilot tube, and thermocouple. This is a little bit different, but it's the same principle. A thermocouple, like you said, which is the brown thing that you usually have sticking out of here. And once again, a quick recap, that's the main burner tube. This is the pilot tube. And if this was an older water heater, you'll have a thermocouple here, like the brown rod thing sticking out. But that's not what we have here. Like I said, this is the same technology, same principle, but you just don't have what you used to have before. So there's no thermocouple, but you still have to wait 60 seconds, just like you did if this were a thermocouple, in order for the pilot to prove itself to the gas valve. Proving itself means that if you hold this gas button down, the pilot button, you're keeping this pilot on, and that will in turn allow the pilot to heat up. And once it heats up past a certain point, the gas valve will say, okay, let me stay on. I know the pilot light is on. And the safety feature, and this is very important, if the pilot light doesn't give the gas valve proper signal, meaning if the pilot light is defected, the gas valve won't stay on, because you don't want to flood this burner chamber with unburned gas, because you have another gas appliance, which is the furnace right next to it. So the pilot light will never stay on if it's defected, and that's kind of like another situation there. But you always just want to light the pilot, hold it down for 60 seconds, let it go. If it stays on without you holding the button in, that's good. But it still won't light until you now turn the knob to between A and B. Now watch this. Here are the flames. Here we go. And now, look at the status light. This will let you know in the future if the pilot light is on. So on a drafty day in the future,